Hello, my fellow chatters and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome, everyone. I'm Chatty. This is my channel, Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting away madly about what I'm going to be reading in March by playing my TBR game, Bookladders and Bookworms. This is going to be one continuous shot. We're on the first take, so let the waffle commence. Let's see the chaos happen. Fingers crossed I do not screw up the pauses and have several videos. We'll find out together. So here's my little gimmick, my tiny teacup. Cheers everybody, clink, 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 clink. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start off by playing the game. We're just going to go straight into it today. I will explain the rules and things like that. And then after that, I'm going to be talking through books I've already kind of got on my list in terms of buddy reads and things like that. And also my own reading plans for the year and how I'm spacing that out and which ones I've popped into March. So if the game is nice and lets me put quite a few buddy reads on, yay, I will be doing 6 rolls. If it's not, and after 4 rolls, none of my buddy reads are on here, I'm going to stop there because it's inviting craziness and stress, and no one wants that. So 4 or 6 rolls, we will find out together. I will also be going through what I am planning to read, taking part in 2 readathons happening this month. The first one, as I'm sure you're aware, it is March, therefore it's Middlegrade March. So I will be talking about what my Middlegrade March choices are going to be. And the other one is a new readathon for this year, and that is the Bronte Readathon. All of the links for these readathons and the creators will be in the description box below. And when I get on to talking about them, I will give you a little bit more detail. Then that's it. So that's basically it. That is the video. That's what I was going to say. Any of the books that I talk about or choose for my list, I will put in the description box so you can access the story graph links and find out more about them. Right, let's crack on. Let's talk about the rules. If you have been here many a time and you know the rules, feel free to scootle off. I have timestamps so you can see what the colour prompts for this month is. Who knows? I'll let you add the appropriate word into my punctuation because it's quite late and I can't do it today. I'm very excited to be filming this video from this location. I haven't used this location for a long time because actually I'm sat in front of my bookshelves and the top 2 shelves aren't usually books. They're usually pictures. But I've taken most of the pictures down and put books in there that I may want to read from or that usually live upstairs to help me with this. So it's quite fun to be doing it from this location today. But yeah, it does take a lot of setting up. I forget that. So I'm just going to have some tea. My rather massive green mug here. Okay, so Bookladders and Bookworms is essentially snakes and ladders. I have a board. There is no there's no end. I just kind of use it to keep going to generate prompts. There are 4 colours on the board, pink, blue, green and yellow, and every month I change them to be different categories to just keep it fresh and fun and kind of either be nicer to myself or harder to myself depending how I feel that month. I have the lucky ladders. So if I land on a ladder, as in snakes and ladders, you get to go up and that's better for you. So the lucky ladder prompts are kind prompts. They're nice to me. So what I do is I select 3 and one of them will be, but I'm not going to know what it is because I shuffle them, will be the Feigle prompt. The Feigles are characters from Terry Pratchett's Discworld. They are the wee free men. They are Scottish pixies and like drinking, fighting and stealing. And it's the stealing part that we're focusing on here because I will steal a book from under my bed that I will read this month. If I don't read it this month, I have to put it back. But I keep new books under my bed and I earn them to encourage me to be healthy. It has worked. I am about to earn a book by the end of the day. So I stopped myself having that second biscuit. I haven't gone to bed early though because I need to do this video. But I stopped that second biscuit. So yay me. And if I land on a worrying worm, just like the snakes, it takes you down and you don't really want to go there. So I have got less helpful prompts. I've got stricter prompts that may lead me onto picking up a book I might not necessarily have chosen for myself this month. I have less agency, I have less choice. I have to kind of go with it. So these ones are ones where it's much more stricter, with the author has to start with this letter, or the title of the book has to begin with this letter, or it has to be a book with mainly red on the cover, or it's a book that is closest to a certain amount of pages, or, you know, you get the idea, a lot more stricter and hemmed in. Then I have some generic prompts that I will be using, and these ones are a little bit more flexible. So instead of being like you have to read a book that is as close to this amount of pages as possible, it would then be more you have to read a cow-sized book, which could be anything, for the sake of this, because I changed them recently, but for the sake of this, anything between 300 and 500 pages. So a lot more flexible. So just not a really short book and not a really long book. That kind of thing. So I go around the board, and there's 3 different levels. For the first level of my bookshelf library, it's the floor, it's all tiled, and I only use the 1 dice to get around. And then with the ladders, I will leave that one should I do so, and then I'm on the shelf, the first level of shelves, and then the second level of shelves. But they don't really mean anything, it just takes me around the board. So I think we're ready to welcome back all of the other people to find out the colour prompts for this month. And here we have, if I land on a blue, I will do a pet pick. I have 2 lovely guinea pigs, technically belong to my children, and I'm going to use one of them to choose from 2 different books by eating some lovely, exciting veggie from the top of them. I have, if I land on a pink, I will be once again doing my TBR tin, which is just out of shot on the shelf here. And this was one of my 5 plans for 2025, where I have a list of 15, I think, veteran books that have been on my shelf for a long time, and 15 books that I acquired last year. And whichever one I pull out, I will read. Last month, I was nice to myself, and I gave myself a choice of 4. This month, the first book that comes out, that's the book that's on the TBR. I'm feeling strict with myself this month. I don't know why. Slightly scared, because some of the buddy reads and some of the reads I've got on here are quite long. So Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell comes out. Yikes. I then have, if I land on a yellow, it is a goal dart. So I'm going to put up 3 of my reading plans for the year, and whichever one I pick, I will pick a book to help me with that plan. So that's quite nice to myself. And then I have 30 seconds prompt, because it really wasn't much of a 30 seconds the last time I did it. So I thought, I know it's quite a lot of people's favourite. So I thought I'll pop it in again, and we'll have more running around chaos slightly. Last time I absolutely knew. Like, I hadn't even finished reading the card. I was like, yeah, got it. So I'll give it another go. So that is all of my colour prompts. I have got 2 little boxes at the top of each one, so I can see if I've landed on it twice. If I land on it twice, it's going to be replaced. I will not be doing a prompt more than once. So it is going to be replaced with a We're All Mad Here Wonderland card. So this is like a TBR game within a TBR game, and it's like high stakes. Very much in line of when Gavin from Gavin Reads It All used to do the play your cards right. So it's kind of books you don't like versus books you do like, and which one are you going to get if you win the game. That is everything. So let's do our first roll. Okay, 1 yellow dice. And we have a 2. So I always start off in the same place, and I can go either clockwise or anti-clockwise, and then it's locked in for the rest of the game. So the first move is always a lot more choice. So let's see if I can be kind to myself and do a lucky ladder from the get-go. Well, I'm not going to go yellow because that's straight on a worrying worm, or a green. And, well, we've got a lucky ladder if I go green to the yellow and if I go blue to the pink. And I'm fancying, let's just go round this side of the board for fun times. Okay, so 1, 2, whoop, I am on the first level. How exciting. And I realised when I was talking about my worrying worms, I was going on for so long about the types of prompt, I forgot to talk about this very important one that's now hiding from me, the One Ring prompt to rule them all. So like the Feild, which is a really nice one, I then picked 2 other ones. So this is a really, I have 0 choice in this prompt. So I will pick 2 other cards and then this one, shuffle them up. So there's a 1 in 3 chance of me getting this should I land on the worrying worm. And it is the first person, if I pull this card, the first person in the comments to say, "One ring to rule them all," from The Lord of the Rings, has the power on my reading and can suggest any book, providing I can access it. I don't want to have to buy books. If I can get it from my library, or if it's one I already have, or if it's like not too expensive and I can easily get it secondhand, great. But if it's really difficult and I've got to like buy it brand new, I'm not doing it. So with that in mind, that's what that one is. But I might not get a worrying worm. We're doing lucky ladders. Sorry about that little interlude. So I have my Feild, and then I have a choice of other ones. So I'm going to shuffle, leaping out there. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle. Okay, shuffly, 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 shuffly. No idea what they are. I'm going to pick 1 and I'm going to pick 2 and I'm going to put those there. And I'm going to pick, shuffly, shuffly, shuffly again because blah, 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 blah. No idea, no idea, no idea. And I'm going to pick one that's on the top, which is, do I want to try a new author or read more from one I enjoy? Well, it's nice and vague. Either way. So what book is most important for me to get on my TBR? I think for me, reading a book from an author I enjoy, which also contributes to rereading. And one of the things I'm hoping to do in 2025 is reread the entire, well, not the entire, but make a start on rereading The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. She is one of my favourite authors, possibly my favourite fantasy author. She's definitely one of my favourite fantasy series. And so I am going to put on the list this lovely book here. Royal Assassin, which is the 2nd book in the first series within a series. So it's the 2nd book in the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy within the Realm of the Elderlings. So I just finished Assassin's Apprentice, so very excited to get back with Fitz and yeah, and carry on my journey and reading it with fresh eyes, reading it knowing where the whole thing goes. It's very exciting. So yes, massive book, and it's on the list. So there we go. I've got one of my planned books in here. That's good. Let's see what the second roll gives us. So I need 2 dice now because we're on the first shelf. And that is 5 and a 2, which is 7. We are committed to clockwise now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my goodness, that's a worm. 6, 7 is green. Whew. So 30-second prompt. I've set up the timer. We're ready. I'm feeling a little bit crazy. I'm gonna shuffle cards and then pick one and then immediately press start before I start reading it. So let's see how it goes. So I don't know why I always like to shuffle them before I do it, but I do. There's like, I have no idea what the order of the cards are, but I just like to do it. Okay, right. Top one is ready. Let's do this. Okay, so it's an author I have not read from before. Okay. Yes. Last Hope School. Ha ha. Amazing. Sorry for less chaos, but there's quite a few authors I hadn't read from. I nearly picked one that I'm not sure if I want to pick up yet. I nearly picked up an adult book that's more of a challenge to me, but luckily I have never read a Nikki Powell Prato. So the one I've grabbed, for those who aren't watching visually, is it's a middle grade. Yay, Middlegrade March. It's The Last Hope School for Magical Delinquents by Nikki Powell Prato. And this helps in so many ways because 1, it's a book for Middlegrade March. 2, this is one of the buddy reads that I have lined up. We are reading this as part of the Middlegrade Readers' Choice Award 2024 Top 5 Read Along. If you want to know more about it, I will link the video here. And if you are interested and want to join in, I have got links in the description box for my Discord where we have read-alongs, and I will also put the Storygraph link as well if you want to do a buddy read on Storygraph and join in the fun. So this is something I'm doing with Tiffany and Stacy and Lucia, and anyone else who wants to join in. We're very excited to start reading this one. So far, touch wood, I'm probably going to jinx it now. It's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. Okay, roll 3 is 6 and 1, which is 7 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is a worm. Not so lucky this time. You know, I jinxed it. So maybe the worm will be nice to me, I don't know. Here's the one ring. Shuffly, 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 shuffly. Let's pick up 2 more. 1, 2, I don't know what they are. Shuffle again. Shuffly, 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 shuffly. And the top one I've got is an author's surname must start with the letter. So now I need to go get a random bag of letters. Got bananagrams here. Just do the claw going in and out, and what it is an O. So the surname starting with O. Okay, what do I have? Anything helpful that immediately comes? Mix, Clark, Morris, Bronte. Okaguru! Amazing! It didn't screw me up. This is... I can't believe that. I really thought that was it. Oh, I'm screwed. Oh, hooray, hooray. So this is a middle grade book called Onyeka and the Heroes of Dawn. It is the 3rd book in the Onyeka series, and it's the book where I'm like, why have I not read this? Why have I not read this? I love the Onyeka series. I had such a brilliant time with the first 2 books. I read the extra little book we got for World Book Day last year. Fully intending, I think that was it, because I didn't do Journeyathon in July. I was fully intending to have Onyeka. I was saving Onyeka to enjoy in Journeyathon, and then that didn't happen. Then I just never got to her. But yay, perfect. So this is a sci fantasy. Yeah, it's a sci fantasy, and it is this magic school for kind of like superheroes. They've all got different powers, and it's set in Nigeria. There's been some kind of so in the first one, I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this. Please go and look at the Storygraph links. But in the first book, Onyeka feels very kind of like othered. She's not sure why she's kind of not allowed to do as much as some of her friends. And she doesn't know what her father is. And then something happens and she kind of finds out that she is part of a Solari and has superpowers, and it's kind of been kept hidden from her to keep her safe because her father is missing. So she then goes to this school for all the other Solari in Nigeria and find sort of like there's something that's happening. There's stuff that's going on. And then this is the 3rd book in that series. So very excited to have got Onyeka by Tala Okaguru in here. Hooray! The worm didn't get me. All is good. So now on my 4th... That was noisy, sorry. On my 4th roll. And I am going to do 6 now because I've got 2 buddy reads in already. That is 6 and 3, which is 9. Okay, so 9. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is green again. So green is the 30-second prompt, which I've already done, which means it's time for We're All Mad Here. And the game we're going to play is You're Nothing But a Pack of Cards. I'm actually not doing it with a pack of cards. So this is where I play pairs. And I have 3 attempts to get a pair. If I get a pair, I read the book I want to read. If I don't get a pair, I read the book I don't want to read. And I actually have a picture book pairs game, which is Oi Frog by, will it say on here? I've forgotten who it's by. It's a great series and I will put it in the description box. We love it. So I've got my pairs all sorted. Oh, and I'm still filming. That was unfortunate then. Sorry about the airtime. I've got my pairs all sorted. So we have 2 jams, 2 lambs, 2 frogs that don't want to sit on logs, 2 welcome mats, and then 2 cards with cats. So that is 6 pairs. So I've got 12 cards and 3 goes to find 1 pair. So I will turn them all over and shuffle them. And then we'll see. And I also obviously need to choose some books. I need to choose a book that I want to read and choose a book I don't want to read. Okay, so the book I don't want to read, I've already chosen. And the reason I don't want to read it is because it's really big. It would be good for me to read it because I've not read it in a while and it might be very helpful. I'm doing a terrible job of trying to do this one-handed. Hold on. Right, we'll film with you on my face while I talk to you, and then I have got 2 hands to shuffle up all the cards and make sure I have no idea which ones they are anymore, and then I will set them out in the grid again, ready to actually play the game. Yes, so the book I don't want to read, it was there. It's there because I can't see. Okay. Careful. Stay. Right. The book I don't want to read right now is the second book in the Knightsbridge series by Ken Follett, the first book being Pillars of the Earth. World Without End. I do want to read it at some point because I did enjoy the historical fiction within Pillars of the Earth. Some part of it was a bit too gratuitous in terms of the violence and the molestation for my tastes. I have reasons, so if you want to talk about it, feel free. But there was a lot of it that I really did enjoy and I did like. Particularly, I love the kind of the entrepreneur building a cathedral thing. Like, all of that is fun, like against all odds, trying to get something happening. So I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the kind of like the politically movement things kind of going on within all of that. So this then takes place a lot later. Where are we now? 1327. So is it the Black Death kind of age? Famine, plague and war. Okay, so we're following some characters. It's set in the same place, but it's a different time in history, sort of like a later medieval period in history. So I do want to read it, but this it's huge. It's really heavy. It is many pages. Let's see exactly how many. Well, we're in 1,000 and I'm not on the final page. Yep, still going. And there's the acknowledgements. 1,237. That's why I don't want to read it. That's why I don't want to read it this month, because it's going to take me a long time. It's going to take me a very long time. So this is a book I don't want to read. And I haven't spoken about it, I'm quite excited. But no, I've already got Royal Assassin, and there's other books I want to read. They're also going to be quite big. So that is a book I don't want to read. The book I do want to read, I don't know at the moment. What book do I want to read? So I have 2 of my buddy reads are on here. I'm not going to put any of the buddy reads on here because if I don't win it, I can't read it. And I need to read my buddy reads, otherwise that's a bit ridiculous. But there are other books that I do want to read and I would like to get to. Oh, that's the point. I didn't think of bringing either of those down. Okay, so yeah, I could put some of those into the mix. So I have brought a few down that I could be interested in. I've spoken about it before. Frontier. It's a sci-fi. It's quite a short book. It sounds really fun. I would love to read that one. Other ones I'm thinking about is the next book in the graphic novel series of 5 Worlds. I think it's called The Red Maze. I really would like to read that one. So that could be a possibility. And also following on for that, More Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. Again, another short book. Again, they're quite lighter comfort reads. So one of those, and I can't decide, so I'm going to let the dice do it for me because I'm incredibly indecisive. So 1 and 2 will be Frontier, 3 and 4 will be the Red Maze, and 5 or 6 will be More Days at the Murasaki Bookshop. And it is a 6, so it is going to be More Days at the Murasaki Bookshop. So those are the books that we are playing for with this game. There we go, I have got it. So More Days at the Murasaki Bookshop follows on from Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, and it is by Satoshi Yagisawa. I recently read Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, really enjoyed it. It's a very healing book. It's very gentle. It's about a girl who kind of goes to her uncle's bookshop because she's kind of like come to like feeling a little bit stuck in her life, not sure what to do. Had a bad breakup, no longer working in her job. So her and her uncle kind of like were close when she was younger, and kind of the books and the relationship kind of like bring her back to herself. And there's also some stuff in her uncle's past that kind of comes back again. So I would like to continue while it's still fresh and complete the duology. So that would be really nice. If I lose, I don't get to read it in March. So I'll have to wait till April. And I have to read this big, heavy one. So I'm feeling the pressure now. So let's do this. Right, here we go. I have 3 goes to find a pair. Going in with this one, and we have got Jam. Okay, I need to find Jam. Let's try this corner. It's Cat. That is not a pair. Okay, next turn. So I found Jam and I found a cat. This is a cat. Yes. Well done, me. That was very helpful. Thank you. Honestly, I have played this game before where I had 6 completely different cards throughout. So the odds were a lot better in this one. So that's good. Yay! I got a pair, and I get to read More Days at the Murasaki Bookshop, and I don't have to worry about it not being the right time to read this big doorstopper of a book. Okay, we've had enough variety now within the game. So if I land again on a prompt we have already had, I will just do that prompt again. So I won't be doing any more We're All Mad Here cards. So let's do my 5th roll. Shaky, shaky. And we have a 3 and a 2, which is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're kidding. 5 is another worrying worm. Oh, man. Okay, so we got the worrying worm again. It was nice to me last time, but I'm still pulling from the same pile. So I have a choice of 2 cards. One will be a difficult prompt. One is going to be a ring. So let's see what it's going to be. Going with this one, it's not the ring. It is a title of the book must start with the letter. So back on the bananagrams. Sorry, everyone who wanted a ring. I was a little bit excited for you that you might get a ring. Okay, letter is this one, which is an E. That was the title of the book. Title of the book starts with an E. So I can ignore the and go on to the next word. Let's see what I have. Well, you're getting a great shot of me just going, aren't you? Let me look at the books properly. So this would have been so good if it was word with E on the book title, because Jane Eyre would be brilliant, but it starts with a J, not an E. Secret Garden, Secrets of Stars, World Without End, Kenga, Bloodwater Pink, Stolen Magic. It's not looking positive. So in my immediate vicinity, I'm not getting a lot of E's popping up. So I'm going to go upstairs and see what I can find. So I have searched high and low on my shelves, even checked my children's shelves. I started looking at my husband's shelves and then went, I don't actually want to read. There's quite a lot of these books I don't want to read. So let's not do that. So there are books that I own that do start with an E, like Emma by Jane Austen, or even The Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett. But I've already read them, and I've read them recently, so I don't want to read them again. But what I did discover was, I also have I'm not going to get it out, it's stuck. But I have Equal Rights by Terry Pratchett, which got me to thinking, actually, the only other Terry Pratchett books on there that I can get from the library. Eric. I cannot recall if I thought I think I read pretty much all of Pratchett's work that's Discworld as a teenager, because I'm pretty sure my mum was going through she was buying all of them in series and she'd get one and I'd read it. I cannot remember. So either I've totally forgotten Eric or I never read Eric. And that is one of the death books. So I really feel it needs to happen, and I'm pretty sure it's quite small as well. So I'm going to get Eric out of the library and I'll be reading Eric for this prompt. Okay, final roll. 2 and 1 is 3. So here we go. We have 1, 2, 3. That is the top, not the bottom of a ladder. So that is blue. And blue is a pet pick. So I'm going to see if I can fish out a guinea pig to help me choose my final book. So I've selected my 3 books. I have got Blood, Water, Paint, which is a novel in verse, historical novel in verse by Joy McClough. I have got one of my buddy reads. I have got The Secret Garden by Franz Hodgson Burnett. Well, it's sort of buddy read. It's sort of not so much. It's the group read for Middlegrade March. So if it doesn't get picked, it means I can't read it until after I've read one of the others that get picked. But I feel that's still manageable. And then finally, I have got a YA standalone fantasy, The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix, which I believe has got a sort of a political witchy fantasy, I think. So yes, I feel I've got quite a lot of. I've got 3 cozy books, 2 being middle grade, and a book on my TBR. So I feel this is whichever one is picked, I'm gonna be happy. So I'm gonna just do it right here. I'm gonna set these up so you can see without blocking too much of the screen. And then I'm gonna get Nacho because he is the slightly easier guinea pig to catch. So I'll go with that. I'm going to put them kind of close-ish together because I think that will help it be fairer. Right. So I'm now placing some coriander on the top of each book. They're all kind of roughly the same leafiness. So we'll see which one he goes for. Okay, so I have Nacho here. Yeah, you're talking to us. That's right. So you're going to help me, Nacho. You're going to choose a yummy snack. What one do you think? What one? Oh. You're just going to freeze? Is it not comfortable? Do I need to move as well with you? Hello. Is that better? Is that better? Which one? Which one? What are you going to go for? All look nice bits of coriander. Yeah. This might take a while, hey? You're not really up for it. Yeah. Which one? Can you find them? Oh, we've gone for it. We've gone for it. It's well done. Okay, so we have chosen. We have chosen. It is The Ones We Burn. Oh, well done, Nacho. That's very helpful. Good boy. So yes, it's going to be The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix. So that is going to be a different dynamic to the It's going to be a different dynamic to the Bookstack. So that's good. Okay, I have got my 6 books in there. Unsurprisingly, it's a lot of fantasy, but I'm quite happy with that. But it's all kind of different fantasies because we've got Eyre that is a more of a, it's got a very different tone. It's got a much more humorous tone, but also with lots of different themes in it, I imagine, with Terry Pratchett. And then we've got some Middlegrades ones, which will be nice and whimsy. And then we've got an epic one. And then I'm not entirely sure what the YA one's going to be. I know you've eaten it all now. All the coriander is gone, so I'm going to pop you back in your cage. Yes, I'm going to see your brother. Want to say goodbye? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. I know you need your claws cut. We'll do that in a bit. Okay, we'll do a quick look at the book stack. And then we will go into the readathons. Little brain moment there. Okay, so we have Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, which was to read more from an author I enjoy. An author I have not read from before is Nikki Palprato, and that is The Last Hope School for Magical Delinquents, which is a middle grade fantasy. Author's surname starting with the letter O is Tolu Akaguro, and I will be reading Onyeka and the Heroes of Dawn. And then I won only a pack of cards. And so I'm reading More Days at the Mariaki Bookshop by Satoshi Matsukawa. Is that right? No, Yagisawa, sorry. Different author. And then I have title of the book starting with E. I'm going to get Eyre by Terry Pratchett out the library. And then the pet pick was The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix, which is a YA fantasy. Okay, other books to throw in here. And one of them links into the readathons, and that is, oh, it's going to collapse on me, I know it is. Oh, hold on, it's going to lay you down though, because I'm worried that you will collapse on me. Right. It is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, which fits into the Bronte Readathon, which is being done by Emily from Novel Novels. If you have not heard of this, I will add the video, her announcement video is in the description box. Go and check it out. It's going to be really fun. She's going to be doing a few different things, and one of them is going to be a live discussion of the Brontes with Katie from Books and Things. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Emily is reading Jane Eyre with Kat from Views and Reviews, and I'm going to invite myself into that buddy read because Jane Eyre I have had this book for a while. I started reading it and I got distracted. I have read it years ago, possibly twice, and I haven't read it since. So it's an encouragement for me to pick it up again and read it. So it's going to be interesting because I read it again. It was a book I read as a teenager, so I haven't read it since then. I've read the first bit, so that's going to be good. So the prompts for the Bronte Readathon, the first one is to read a book by one of the Brontes. So that is the one I'm doing. I'm reading Jane Eyre. Prompt number 2 is to read a dark book. So having a little look at what I have got here. The Ones We Burn has got a dark cover. I'm getting a lot of kind of autumnal vibes from this one because I know it has witches. It has also got a ombre sprayed edge, black into orange. And then there's black and white end pages of different characters in here. So it just gives me a kind of like woods and trees and campfires feel to it. So that atmospherically is dark. Royal Assassin could also work for that as well because Fitz's story is so dark. I'm slightly scared because I know what's coming in this book. My poor Fitz. So I realised I'd never explained what this was about because there's so much. But essentially, this is a very slow burn epic fantasy. It's quite slow paced. You live and breathe what's going on, but it's so immersive. It doesn't work for everyone because not everyone likes a slow pace. I love it. I can just read about Fitz cleaning out stables. I can read about Fitz pondering how frustrated he feels with his life and all the other things, because Hobbs, when Hobb puts things in there, it's in there for a reason. And the payoff is going to be so good because you just get such an idea of who these characters are, what makes them work. It's so intricate, it's so detailed, and so when stuff happens, the emotional payoff you get is just incredible. So the protagonist is Fitz. He arrives at this outpost. He is the bastard son of the prince in waiting, Chivalry, who is chivalrous. He is very honour bound, and because he has sired a child out of wedlock, he feels the shame for his wife and he abdicates from the succession in the throne. Fitz never sees his father. He is raised by his father's man-at-arms, who is the current master of the stables. And then it's what Fitz does in the castle. He goes on to, the first book is called The Assassin's Apprentice. So he is used to be an apprentice to an assassin. But the book is about so much more than that. This royal assassin is so full of politics, the courtly politics, the intrigue, and everything that starts coming to a head in here. It gets pretty dark. So yeah, they're also facing a threat from other lands within here. I'm doing a rubbish job of explaining what it's about, but for all intents and purposes, it's dark. There we go. Right. Then we have a book with siblings, and none of the ones I have selected are going to work for that. So I will need to have a little think about that one. Actually, yes, I do. So what is going to work for me is another buddy read. This is When Stars Are Scattered. It is a graphic novel. It is a non-fiction middle grade book by Omar Mohammed and Victoria Jameson. This is a story of Omar, who we can see illustrated on the front here, with his arm around his brother, I think is Hassan. So it is their story of them being in this concentration camp in Kenya, having fled war from I think is it Sudan? I think they are Sudanese. I will check. Apologies, Somalia. So they're from Somalia and go to a refugee camp in Kenya to escape the war within their country. And it is their story of being in the refugee camp. So siblings, 2 brothers in there. So there we go, that's that. I'll go on and talk about this in a little bit because I'm just going through what's this called? Bronte Readathon. Sorry, I've lost it now. Okay. And fourth prompt is a book with a character or an author called Emily. I don't have one for this. There are ones I could get to, but what I'm really wanting to do is read books from my shelves rather than go and find ones for prompts in here. So I'm just going to be doing the 3 of those prompts with a mixture of these books. So yeah, do go and have a look at Emily's announcement video and join in if you would like to. Okay, so Jane Eyre is a buddy read. The Secret Garden, which I will have to wait to read until I have read The Ones We Burn, is a sort of buddy read for the Middlegrade March read along. This is their group read. They have got 2 group reads. So Middlegrade March, if you are not aware, sorry, I'm surrounded by books now. I'm just going to move a few of them out the way. Where should I put you? I'll put you there. And let's put you both here. Okay. Middlegrade March. This is a readathon that has been created by Kristen from Books and Jams and Katie from Life Between Books, and it is the 8th year. I think they also have Amanda with them as well from On the Middle Shelf. They will be doing some lives, they'll be doing some recommendations. I've got the announcement video in the description box. And if you like Discord, on my Discord Middlegrade Mad Chat, I have got a section all about the Middlegrade Readathon where you can talk about what you're going to be reading for it, and I have got each one of the prompts where I'm encouraging people to put recommendations in there to give you ideas of what you could read. I also have a section which is for the 2 buddy reads, so if people want to talk about them on there, they can do. So as I mentioned, one is The Secret Garden, the other is by Frances Hodgson Burnett, which is a child's classic. Again, I have a very lovely copy. So this is the folio edition. Let me get it out of the slipcase. This was I can't remember if it was Christmas or birthday. I think it was birthday present from my mum, as I really wanted a really nice copy of The Secret Garden, and I have yet to reread it. Where is, oh, there we go. So we've got some illustrations in here. We've got Mary walking through the garden there. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to rereading this one. Because it is a classic, there are some things in here that might be problematic. So just make yourself aware when you go in. The other book, as I mentioned, is Moon Garden. And this is part of the Plotting the Stars series by Michelle A. Barry. I'm not going to be reading that one because it is not readily available in the UK, and my library doesn't have it. And like I said, I'm not collecting more books or buying more books. I'm trying to read the ones I already have. So I'm not going to be taking part in that one. But I will be reading things for the prompts. So prompt number 1 is a book by an author with 3 names. And as I already mentioned, I have got The Last Hope School for Magical Delinquents, which is by Nikki Powell-Prato. But there are lots of ones you can read. There is Kira Morwood-Hargrave. There is a lot of authors have got like letter initials, so that is very helpful. One we were talking about on Discord is M.G. Leonard, who has written the Adventures on Train series with Sam Sedgman, and also has a book out called The Ice Children. And there are some other ones as well. I think they wrote Twitch, so there's that one. So there were quite a few. There were quite a few around, so that's a fun one to find. You could have A.N. Montgomery and read Anne of Green Gables if you wanted to read another classic. A book with flowers on the cover is prompt number 2. I am going to be reading one of my buddy reads for this one because very happily it has flowers on the cover, so that's going to work out very well. I am going to be reading The Last Bookwanderer, which is the final book in the Pages & Co series by Anna James, and I'll be buddy reading that with Stacy, and maybe at a later date chatting with Kelli as well. We have been reading the series. We started off with the first one and we have been continuing to read throughout last year and into this year. Stacy and I have just finished the 5th book and we're very, very excited to get to the next one and see how it all ends up and finishes off. The 5th one I really enjoyed, kind of like to the same level as the first one, which was really nice because I'd been feeling slightly like the whimsy was fun but the plot wasn't working for me so much. But the 5th one I was right there again, so that was great. The 3rd prompt is a book that's in a series. So the Bookwanderers would have counted for that one. There are many, many Middlegrade series. The Last Hope School would also count for that one as well, because there is a 2nd book coming out in the autumn, I believe. But I will be reading one I've already got on my list. Onyeka is in a series. And this is the 3rd book, possibly the final book. I've not heard of any more coming out. This is possibly the final book in the Onyeka series. And then the 4th prompt is a book that involves travel. And I'm going to be going for When Stars Are Scattered by Omar Mohammed and Victoria Jameson, as I've already spoken about. And I'm going to talk about this one in a moment because it's part of another book project that I am enjoying following. The final prompt is a book written in the 1900s. So this could be anything from 1900 to 1999. So obviously things like classics are quite easy to come across. For me, I'm just going to be doubling up with The Secret Garden because I don't really, again, I don't want to be trying to find other books that I don't need to. And I haven't got any plans to reread other ones that I've already read. But one I'll just grab as a suggestion is a historical fiction called Brother Dusty Feet by Rosemary Sutcliffe. This was published in 1952, so absolutely counts. It's set in Tudor times, and we follow our protagonist Hugh, who wants to go and become a scholar, and he has to make his way to London, and he falls in with a band of strolling players. And so you follow these strolling players with Hugh, and he becomes part of their team, and it's so much fun seeing what the world was like for them as they carry along and eventually try and get to London. It was such a fun read. I am looking forward to rereading this again at some point, but it's not this year because I have many rereading plans currently. But it's one I recommend should you be looking for one. Okay, that is Middlegrade March, what I'm reading for it. That is my plan. There is another book that I would like to pop on there. I am eagerly anticipating, I am hoping to earn this, but do you know what? I'm going to open it. So although I'm not buying books at the start of the year, I did give myself a small number of pre-orders that I could get. And so they've been coming in as they do. And mainly ones where I'm trying to continue the series, or it's an author that I really love and I'm excited. I've been waiting for this book to come out. But I gave myself 2 wild cards. So I allowed myself to get one middle grade that I'm really excited about and one adult book. And I have the middle grade here. I haven't opened it yet, but I have, like I said, earned my healthy, I've been very healthy. So I've earned a book from under my bed, and I will be opening this one. So I will show you what it is. I've not seen it in the flesh before, so I'm really excited. Like, even in bookshops, I haven't seen it. I've only seen it online. Please. Well, it's not meant to come out. How rude. Sorry, so making a bit of a palaver about it. Come on, book. There we go. Right. Don't want to damage it. Okay. So I have got Ink Bound, The Meticulous Jones and the Skull Tattoo by Philippa Leatherly. This just looks so exciting. So immediately the cover drew me in. We have got this giant sort of steampunky heart. It looks like we've got 2 clockwork bits on the top. There's all sorts of telescopes and cogs kind of going around, and the title is across it in the middle. And the O of Inkbound is a skull. And then up here we have a girl. She has got sort of like blue skin, wearing a red dress, and next to her is a sort of cross between, it looks sort of fairy but also a little bit like a gargoyle, and she's holding a staff. We've got lightning, we've got the night sky, we've got rooftops along the bottom here. On the back we've again got like rooftops and bridges, and that looks like a flying bicycle, like almost like E.T. with a parasol at the top. So this is very exciting. Under the end pages we've got stars. So it's like clouds and stars sort of in the night sky with a shooting star across it, which is awesome. So I will read you the little synopsis on the flap here. On her 10th birthday, meticulous Metty Jones receives her fate, as all children do, in the form of a magical tattoo on her hand. She hopes that her tattoo will reveal an exciting destiny, travel, discovery, or adventure. What appears is a skull in the palm of a violet glove. Metty's fate is to be a murderer. When Metty's father disappears in mysterious circumstances, Aunt Magnificent takes her to the glittering city of New London, filled with magic, wonder and enchantment. But when Metty hears rumours of a shadowy organisation known as the Black Moths, she begins to suspect they are connected to her own dark fate. This sounds so fun. So yes, I'm very excited to get reading with this one. It just looks like there's a lot of fun. We have a map. Here we go. Here is a map of New London. we've got docks, we've got the Naked Cathedral, we've got universities, the Ink Museum, Low Fate Grey Ink Station, the Blood Quarter. It looks like so much fun. I'm very excited for this. I don't know if we've got any illustrations. We've got little pictures at the top of the chapters, but there's no illustrations in it. But I'm really excited by this premise. It sounds really, really fun. So I would like to read this one as well. And they travel to New London. So it is also a book that involves travel. So yes, that's what I would like to read. So I said I would come back to this one, When Stars Are Scattered. So one of the reasons I wanted to get this in here, this is, well, it actually does two things. So the first one is Katia and Jack. So Katia from Pages with Katia and Jack from Spread Book Joy are doing a sort of year-long book club called Reading the Globe with YA and middle grade books. So Katia has set up this, and it is to encourage people to read more translated fiction. So the book for the March and April is When Stars Are Scattered. So I would like to join in with that readathon. I read this last year in January, but I borrowed it from the library. So I have treated myself to my own copy because I loved it. So I'm really looking forward to being able to talk to them about it. I will leave the link to Katia and Jack's announcement video. Jack is from Spread Book Joy. I don't know if I said that. And Katia is from Page Turners with Katia. And there is a Discord link from Katia's announcement video as well. So you can pop in there and have a little chat. So there we go. That is 1, 2. Where's Jane? She's down there. So plus Jane, plus Last Hope School, plus